Alright, so first I'd like to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Akakodash. Also to say double honors to the apostles at the list of James from Stone, and to you, Akim and out here pushing the truth in sincerity. Shalom, this is Brother Kanan, out here again another Saturday, to speak unto our people, the true Israelites, that's the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans predominantly, wherever in the world you are. Want to descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in that order, 12 tribes of Israel, then this truth is for you, doesn't matter how you look. Once you have that seed and this truth is working with you, the elect of that seed, of that nation, this truth at this current moment is for you. And mostly the wisdom is for men. Alright? But also not only to just wake up our people, but to warn about the coming destruction that is still coming. Where America is going to be destroyed by the time we look to destruction. You're going to have race war, martial law being passed, famine, pestilence, all type of chaotic events taking place. Upwards of the people from all walks of life. Because this is what the Lord is bringing to destroy this evil setup, this evil society. And one of the main culprit, behind all of this evil system is the so-called white man, right? The so-called white man is the main. Currently the king of this society. He's the one that is basically setting the laws and with the military power and the wealth of the earth. He's the one creating this order that you're now seeing, which is really chaos, to usher in their new world that they're planning. And they're really doing that to what? America, which Bible refers to as Miss Mother the Great, right? The mother of Ireland. So we're going to start off with speaking against America, and the scriptures basically said for itself, I'll go to that. So I'm going to move to the first precept that I've selected, and this is Isaiah 13 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. It says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Right? So the burden of Babylon is what? We're referring to America at this point. So we are supposed to lift up that banner as if we're protesting against America. So you see the prophets in the Ives and Edges doing. Crying aloud, spared not. We are basically protesting against the thing that Babylon has to offer, that are deceiving and destroying our people. Right? Again, our people are you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans predominantly. You so-called Jamaicans, you are the true Benjamites according to the Bible. If you have the year to year. Alright? Let me continue verse 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapon of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Alright? To destroy again what? Babylon. Because the earth is not going to be utterly destroyed, but America is going to be burned to terminal destruction. It won't be a place that is going to be inhabited after it's burnt. It says verse 6, holy, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their face shall be as flames. Right? So this is coming from Yahweh Yahushua. The Father is the one who's basically orchestrating this destruction, to bring down society to prove his power. Just like how we did with Egypt back then. He made Egypt become great, being proud and all of that Pharaoh thing that he was God. That's the same energy that America come under. Today they are basically the new Egypt. Right? The president of America is acting as if he's the new Pharaoh. Alright? They have the same concept, pride, the thing that they believe that they are gods. Really. That is reoccurring just like back then. So I think the Lord's gonna do just like I did back then. As a matter of fact, He's gonna make a greater example out of this Egypt than the one that He did back then. Because back then, the Lord pulled the Egyptians out of Egypt and drowned them in the sea, right? But the chariots were there. But this time, the Lord's gonna destroy America in an amazing way, where you're gonna see the smoke of America going up. But you're gonna have the chariots coming also that are going to basically pick up the elect of the nation of Israel. The ones that the Lord sees fit to be delivered from this time to come. Alright? Then move to the next precept. So this is Isaiah chapter 34. I'm going to start from let's start from verse 1. Right, so let's start from verse 1. It says, Come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Right? Cannot be seeing this, but let me continue. And His fury upon all the armies, He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up. Their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with fervent. We melt with their blood. I'm still having an issue seeing, right? So their blood, the people that are in this region, and I mean especially America, your blood is gonna melt these mountains. That's what it's saying there, right? Let me continue. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. So the Lord is saying that, look, the element's gonna be dissolved, yo. That's what happened when the thermonuclear when a bomb, ICBM is fired in a country. The smoke goes up and it looks like a mushroom cloud, right? That's gonna happen to America, as the Bible prophesied, right? Verse 6, it says, For my sword shall be bed in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to indignation. So there's a people that the Lord curse. That's the so-called white people. Esau, Edom. And the name for them is Idumea. Alright? The so-called white one, as I said earlier, you know what I mean, is the one that is in control right now. He's the one ruling the earth, passing all these laws, oppressing all these people, you know what I mean, destroying the earth and all of that. He's the one that is in charge of that right now, to try and usher in his kingdom. But the Lord's going to destroy it, because again, this is not the will of the Lord for it to fight for the so-called white man kingdom to flourish beyond being destroyed. Alright? So that's going to happen, yo. And that's why the prophets are out speaking against Babylon, against the so-called white man, against those who have joined themselves onto this system and believe that this is what is going to continue. Alright? Let's go to the next precept. So this is Nahum 3 and verse 1. I'm going to start from verse 1 and skip through it. It says, Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. So the bloody city is what? Is where? America. You know what I mean? And it says, the lies and robbery. It's full of lies and robbery. The so-called white man would have built his society and kingdom upon what? Lies and robberies. He robbed our people of their identity. So though you're calling yourself so-called African Americans, so-called Jamaicans, so-called West Indians and Caribbean people, because you were taught that by your slave masters. They lie to you about who you are and what your purpose is on earth for. You know what I mean? They stole and robbed you for appearance of their wealth, and they are living lavish with your wealth today. That's how they built their society. You know what I mean? On the backs of our forbearance and even ourselves. We are still out here working to build the so-called white man empire. When you're going to your 95 on a daily basis, you know what I mean? Majority of the time you are working for a so-called white man. Alright? Not only that, even if it's a Jake that owns certain business that's the same, majority of the time he's paying taxes to the so-called white man. Right? He's building his empire, he's continue to function for his society to keep floating. Right? So that's how the white man basically build his bloody city up, killing off you people, whether through his pharmacy, whether through his food, whether through, you know, all these different type of ways. That's how he go about it. Let me continue. And as I said, I'm going to jump through it. So I'm going to skip to verse 4 in this chapter, Nahum 3, verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, you know what I mean, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredom and families through her witchcrafts. Let's pause there again. So that well-favored harlot, again, is America. Right? They are the one who was riding the beast. You know what I mean? They are the ones who are riding the beast. And again, they select other nations through their witchcraft. Right? For example, Hollywood, the media, you know what I mean? Majority of the media outlets are owned by the so-called white men. I tell them are so-called Jewish men as well, because America is not about second Israeli states, right? They are puppets for the Jewish Gotaratio, the fake Jewish people them. So their agenda is pushed through the might and power of so-called white man in America. All right? The banks, they own the banks, they own the money. You know what I mean? They influence what is done in that country. All right? I know these countries, all America go about destroying other countries and robbing these countries. They use the media. First and foremost, they have to destabilize your country. Or they go about destabilizing the country, spreading lies, teaching your children follies. They target the weaker ones, your sons, your daughters, your children, your women. And then they target effeminate men. Some of these effeminate men are the ones who basically follow their women, are the ones who basically were indoctrinated as a child by television, the television system. You know what I mean? So they play programming your children on a daily basis to accept a new way of life. You know what I mean? Everybody was living like the East once, so a man could have wife a woman back then, and there would be no problem. The so-called man say, yo, here we're going to teach a different way. Here you must have one woman, you know what I mean? And you must have no talk about or order over that woman, because if she wants to go, she must go. She can be an harlot as much as she wants to be an harlot. So now you have conflict within the family. You have the husband against the wives. And they are now divided. And then the woman wants to get what? Custody of the children. So the men lose out and even grooming the children to be a more moral person, you know, because the women are going to be what? Driven by what society is basically telling them. They are sheep. They follow what? Just like a woman and a man. If a female is with a man today, she tends to draw herself to that man's ways. But after leaving that man and moving to her next man, she become that man's sheep. She basically become whatever that man is. But the thing is, society is now acting as the men for these women. They are the husband for the females, yo. So whatever society tell them is right and how to live, they go about that. That's how America destroy a nation, yo. Then they go even further. They go into the government and they say, look here, the leader here, now go our way now. So here we're going to fund you, we're going to give you money, we're going to give you power, and we're going to back you to go up against this so-called other leader. And there you have it. You have two different parties in our country, one fighting for a Russian regime, the other fighting for American regime. That's why in Jamaica you have what? PNP and JLP, yo. PNP is mostly going with what? Russia side. While the JLP government is mostly going with America. Because they are indoctrinated by these so-called white men from both sides. And the division comes in for them to rule. Right? I think this gang war started in your country. In certain time period, we're peaceful people. We weren't having this much violence amongst ourselves until the Satan, the demon himself, stepped in, bringing guns to the man of Tivoli, shower passing them. They were given weapons to start fighting. And then the PNP side took their men and got to Cuba, who was attached to the Russian regime as well, and they get armed and trained in guerrilla warfare and war. So now they come back to Jamaica, and then you have two different sides. You have a community of two different set of people warring against each other. That's how the white man divide and rule, yo, through his sorcery, through his witchcraft, and his robberies and lies. Now you're fighting his war, not knowing that you're fighting his own war, yo. That's what is taking place at his feet. Because now, even in the Caribbean right now, you have nations that are joining to America. You know? See, America and Russia and Venezuela at it right now. Alright? America is aligning themselves with Trinidad and other Caribbean nations to go up against Venezuela, right? But in the same breath, these puppet nations that are joining to these so-called white men, they are so scared and fearful for their lives. They say, yes, master, yes. But when it gets to the extreme level, they don't want to pull themselves out of it, like the Prime Minister of Trinidad. Know that they give America leverage and leeway in the Caribbean to do what they want to do, but know that America sees Venezuela tanker, which is basically a war crime, is an act of war, it's illegal, but because America is proud and mighty and don't care about no laws at all, they break the laws that they force and establish, because according to them, they are above laws, right? Guess what? After they did that, Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister comes out and says, you know what? They have nothing to do with that. They're trying to distance themselves from the war because they don't really want to smoke. They're a puppet. They're caught between a rock and a hard place, yo. Because they don't have the might for themselves to fight, yo. They need resources to contain themselves. Even though they have some resources for themselves, they need the help of other countries to stay afloat. So they are so afraid of America that they are putting themselves in a hard place. And Jamaica is walking on the same slope or sliding on the same slope. So eventually, you're going to end up in that situation where you must choose. It's World War III. You have to choose a side. Well, not you specifically, but their government must choose a side. Right? They must choose a side. And their side is not Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Their side is dead. The enemy, whether it be Russia, whether it be China, whether it be America, their side is the enemy, right? So they're going to lose nonetheless. But with the prophets, our side is what? Yahweh, or Yahweh Shai. We're going to be delivered because we chose the right side. We're going to be delivered because we're on the right path, on the winning side. All right? Let me continue this verse. So this is Nahum 3. Let's go back to verse 4 again. Because of the multitude of the whoredom of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft. You ever say families, right? Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face. The Lord is opening or lifting up the skirts of America to the entire world. Everyone is now seeing that America is a bully, a demon, and a wicked nation that doesn't believe in what they speak. They are hypocrites. They attack other nations for breaking so-called war treaties and all these other things, but they keep none. They attack other nations for being so-called bullies because they influence these other some other nations to invade other people's space. But when nobody invades them space, they are invading other people's spaces, yo, for different reasons, whether it be for resources, regime change, control. All these things are for their own benefits and not for your benefit. They could care less if you die, if you are sick. That is not their concern. Their concern is what? Power and control and wealth, resources. Alright? Let me continue. It says, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So America is becoming a viler and viler nation. You know what I mean? People are seeing America for what they are. Oh, man can be a woman, woman can be a man. Your child is gender fluent. He can change his gender from whatever he wants it to be. You know what I mean? They can serve any God they want to serve. There's no God. You know what I mean? There's no moral compass except break committing sins in their eyes. You know what I mean? That's why America portray and push their energy. And the world sees that. Turkers, you know what I mean? Murderers, witchcraft, these are the things that Americans are involved in, yo. You know what I mean? Right? Wars for the females, family destroyed. No, so-called family structure in your society, especially amongst you so-called Latino tribes, you Negro tribes. Us, that's our people. Because we are so easy to be distracted and destroyed that we've been destroyed. You know what I mean? The white man house is more in order than your house. You are the most single parents that exist on the earth. You have a mother but no father. You have a father but no mother. Or you don't have nobody at all. You're by yourself. Up and down on the streets being worse. Alright? Let me move on. We'll do the next precept.
One skin like toaster. Keep it close, more closer. Them boy, they don't bad like toaster.
So this is Micah 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that deviseth iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses.
Hi.
I'm sorry?
Be on your way, please.
I'm sorry?
On your way, please. Be on your way, please. Oh, stop in no light.
Oh, you're saying no stopping here? Oh, I didn't that's not what your commander was saying.
Don't sign and be on your way.
No, that's not my sign. I don't know.
All right, be on your way then.
Alright, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, man.